Your name is Jack Noir. As of recently, you're a dog. You're not entirely sure what a dog is, but the name and nature of the beast emerges from your subconscious. You stare at the ring on your finger, the ring of the Black Queen. It's all you wanted. To kill the Queen, take the ring, rule over Durst. And now that you've achieved your goals, it seems so fucking pointless. It all means nothing if your boys are dead. Ace, Queen, King. All that's left is Jack. You float listlessly in the skies above Skya, where Prospect used to float. You sigh. There's only one thing for someone like you, who has not only reached the edges of grief, but also the edges of their own mind. Murder-suicide en masse. You'll kill everyone and everything, and then yourself. Very sensible. First on your list of murders are those fucking humans. The man in the fedora and the wine-drinking woman. After that, the insipid heroes of time, space, breath, and light. After that, you figure you can just start blowing things up in a less personal fashion. You descend to Skya, floating over its surface, watching the pointless little lives of the inhabitants unfold with irritation. The checkerboard landscape stretches as far as the eye can see. Skya's curve visible at the height you're soaring. Loose-knit towns dotting the landscape, sectarian camps of Prospidians and Dursites scattered throughout. The Skyan war of resources seems so pointless and boring now. Still, if you're going to have a successful killing spree, there's one loose end you need to deal with. The Black King. You know word will have reached him by now that the Queen has been killed, not by a hero, but by one of his own Dursite subjects. He has his great scepter of power to fight you with, but you know the ring's powers are far greater. In the distance, a shape is growing closer, black and indefinite, brickwork and concrete combining to create the walls of a formidable fortress. You drift towards the king's hideout, Castle Black, a castle set on the antipode of Castle White on the other side of Skya, from which the king rules with an iron fist. As you descend to the ground at the maw of the fortress, armed Dursite guards brandish swords and guns at you. They say some token warning like, "Come no closer," but you don't need to come closer to kill them. You extend a hand, and green energy spews forth, immolating them to a man. The doors fly open. You sigh. You trek to the innermost chamber, goes about as easily, killing every soldier not fleeing for their lives on the way, black carapace and red blood staining Castle Black's obsidian bricks. It strikes you how boring ultimate power really is. Your infiltration is child's play. The most impregnable place on Skya rendered a casual stroll by your new nuclear abilities. Your canine ears flatten on your head as you blast another cadre of your countrymen begging for their forfeit lives. The place smells like iron and rot from all the blood now that you've reached the king's chambers. You open the door with a palm, and from within emerges a nuclear blast from the Black King, which you deftly dodge. The king isn't a fighter. He relies on the power of prototyped beings far too much.
Nothing personal,
You say quietly as you send a blast of your own, back without mercy. The king falls, a golf ball-sized hole punctured not just through his chest, but in the wall behind him, his scepter falling to the ground. The scepter is topped with a small blue-white globe, a tiny model of Skya itself encased in glass. It looks about as fragile as the real thing is to you. You place a foot on the Skya globe and crunch it to bits. Beneath your feet, there is a terrible rumbling from Skya's core. In a normal session, This would be a monumental occasion, the reckoning beginning, the death of the very medium kicking off. But to you, it just seems routine, like the spinning of a gear in a clock. Leaving Castle Black behind, you fly above Skya and look down at the ant farm people and their insignificant works. Now they're buzzing about in terror, feeling fear bubble out in screams. You feel empty inside. Why shouldn't you? The only men you've ever loved are dead and gone, one of them inexplicably by your hand. Maybe destroying some farms and homes would cheer you up. Floating over Skya, you lazily swoop low, blasting farms and random military camps with casual flicks of the wrist. Not even the agonizing screams of dying people and the despairing souls can assuage your empty nihilism now. Oh well.
Curse you, Jack Noir,
calls a rueful voice from below. You sigh. Hearing those words used to give you so much joy. Now, nothing. The howling of foes really means nothing without anyone to share it with. You float on, eventually coming to rest above a cloud, listening to a faint sound of woe and misery below, trying to cheer yourself up. You feel a few stinging tears in your eyes. Hey, you nearly jump out of your skin, your ears and tail jolting to attention as you hear a voice. Wait, a voice? Why is there a voice speaking to you in the middle of the air 200 feet above Skya's surface? Hey, the voice repeats. You look up, and against all odds, someone is standing there. Above you, looking down, is a human. You've never seen this one before. His hair is blonde like the wine woman's, but he's muscular and fit, his t-shirt clinging to his biceps for dear life. His wiry hair is partially hidden beneath a ball cap, and his eyes are behind two triangular lenses. He's standing on what appears to be a plank of wood with wheels attached to the bottom, propelled by jets attached to both ends. Instead of greeting the man, you fire a blast at him. To your incredible dismay, he dodges, leaning forward on the plank deftly to evade. Growling, you try another volley, but he's too wily to hit.
I don't have time for you, creep,
You say. Did you blow up that planet? He demands, pointing upward. No doubt he's referring to Skya.
Who wants to know?
You hiss. Derek Strider. Did you do it? The man crosses his arms. On his back, the hilt of a sword is visible.
Yeah.
You say remorselessly.
What are you gonna do about it?
As an answer, the man's sword swings at you at a speed you weren't ready for. You dodge back, more maneuverable in the air than he is, stuck to his plank. Still, he scuffs your shoulder, blood oozing from a small cut. Normally, you'd fight anyone who so much glanced at you wrong, but fighting doesn't sound fun right now. Doesn't sound like anything.
Listen,
You say gently, as if you're letting the guy down easy.
I've got shit to do bigger than whatever your planet-exploding crusade is. Bye.
Without another word, you fly off at top speed, breaking free of Skya's gravity, aiming for Durst. There you'll regroup and track down those meddlesome fuckers who made your visit to Prospect so explosive. Just one problem. The glasses glasshole, is following you. Looks like that board is faster than you thought. It appears you're going to have to make this guy a corpse after all. You veer off, suddenly cutting in a different direction towards a closer-by celestial body, the land of heat and clockwork. That will make a decent battlefield for you, and graveyard for him. Maybe fighting does sound fun after all. You are no longer Jack Noir. Homestuck Alternate Universe is written, produced, and narrated by Thunk McLovin. Also featuring Janaya as Kanaya, AE as Terezi, Bucky as Carcat, Pakin as Tavros, Shrimp as Nepeta, Technically Dead as Salix, Harper as Vriska, Eclipi as Gamzee and Equius, and West as Pfeffery. Illustrations are by Sunny Dionysus and Gastro. Please support Homestuck Alternate Universe on patreon.com/funkmclovin for early access, behind the scenes, and bonus features, but mostly to simply support the efforts of independent creators. Homestuck was written by and is the creation of Andrew Hussie. Thank you for listening.